Shana Tova. Shana Tova. In the book of Exodus, one of my favorite verses, Va'asu li mikdash v'shachanti b'tocham. Let them make me a sanctuary that I may dwell among them. So this is a strange verse because why would God ask for a sanctuary, a specific sanctuary, so that God can dwell in a specific place? But it actually says, make me a sanctuary that I may dwell among you. It's not one specific place that I am going to dwell b'tocham, among you. And boy, have we learned that God dwells among us wherever we are. Because we have built sanctuaries in many, many places since Rosh Hashanah of 2019, which is the last time we worshiped together for the High Holy Days. Since Rosh Hashanah of 2019, we have worshiped on television screens, on computer screens, in our living rooms, in our kitchens, maybe in our bedrooms, although I don't really want to know about it. We have worshiped in our porches, on our backyards. Deb and I have led High Holy Days from our home offices and almost alone, save for some pretty incredible tech support in this sanctuary. And here we are back again in this sanctuary. And we have learned that God dwells with us wherever we are. And we have learned that this space is special. And so welcome home. Welcome back. Welcome to this place that you have built, that we have built. Welcome to this holy place. And as we reconnect with each other in this sacred space, as we reconnect with each other, even still at home with the many screens at home, we know that God dwells with us wherever we are. So, to build that sanctuary in our hearts and in our sacred space, I want to invite forward our congregational choir, Kolot Kolami, which will sing together with our music director, Deb, and our professional choir, whom we welcome back not on video for the first time since 2019. We're going to just line up here. Taller people can go up on there if you want. Do you guys want to step up on the... You can go all the way up if you want. Vasuli mikdash v'shachanti betocham v'anachnu nevarech Yah me'ata ve'ad olam. God, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you. Join us. God, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you. God, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you. Vasuli mikdash v'shachanti betocham v'anachnu nevarech Yah me'ata ve'ad olam. We turn now to kindle our Rosh Hashanah lights and offer Kiddush. What an honor for me to invite forward Barbara Feldman and Beth Curtis. Let me get you a microphone.
The first mitzvah in the Torah is let there be light. So we are commanded. In everything you do, be a menorah, a bringer of light. Live with honor, act with integrity, do your work with passion, and the radiance of your deeds will live after you. May our ideals burn bright, forever unextinguished, and may we live our lives like the flames we kindle, always stretching upward, striving for the good, reaching for you.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel yom hazikaron. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehecheyanu v'kiyamanu v'hidyanu l'zman hazeh.
Source of blessing, eternal our God, you fill the universe with majestic might, giving us life, upholding the life within us, and bringing us to this time.
We continue with Kiddush. Kiddush, you have to flip a bunch of pages. So if you turn to page 78, and Beth will lead us.
Lift this cup for the year that is gone, for mountaintop moments and the taste of joy. Celebrations shared, milestones met, all we've mastered and achieved since last we met. For wedding rings, tears, and kisses under the chuppah, new babies, first words, and first steps. For the children who bless our homes and bring life to our community. For B'nai Mitzvot and confirmands, young teachers of this holy congregation, ours to cherish and guide with love. For beloved wives and husbands, sisters and brothers, for loyal friends who grow more precious with each passing year, for this community which nurtures us all, for all we've learned, for all we've struggled through, for challenges surmounted and disappointments met with courage, for last moments shared with those we loved and lost, for parents and grandparents whose memories are with us forever. We lift this cup for the year that is gone, for the year that begins. May we meet it in strength, in unity, in hope. We lift this cup and celebrate survival, so may we sanctify each day that is ours.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'am, v'romemanu mikol hashon, v'kidshanu b'mitzvotav. V'titen lanu Adonai Eloheinu b'ahava, et yom hazikaron hazeh, Yom Teruah Mikra Kodesh, Zecher Letziat Mitzrayim, Kivanu v'chata v'yotanu kidashta mikol ha'amim, Udvarecha emet v'kayam le'ad. Baruch atah Adonai, melech al kol ha'aretz, mekadesh Yisrael ve'yom hazikaron.
It's an honor to be joined once again on the pulpit by two of our past presidents. And it is really poignant this evening because Barbara and Irv are moving in just a few days to California to be closer to family. So Barbara, we will miss you, and you will always be home here. A moment now to hear from the wisdom and joy from our president, Lori Rosenberg.
Thank you, and Shana Tova. And on behalf of the Suburban Temple-Kol Board of Trustees, our leadership team and staff, I have the honor of extending to all of you warm wishes for the holidays, for safe, prosperous, and healthy New Year. And tonight we've already experienced something that 3 years ago we wouldn't have experienced, but the joy that we saw up here in welcoming us back with the music of our Temple Choir and our professional choir was amazing and hard to put into words, but thank you for bringing us back and bridging the screen to being here in the sanctuary. It was really, really beautiful. And it is a moment to pause that this is the conclusion of the cycle of having all of our services and all of our celebrations back here in the building, in the sanctuary. And we're really fortunate with a team, leadership team, support staff that kept us connected while we were in isolation and helped us become reconnected as we started to enter the building, as we felt safe and comfortable as individuals, and also had the creativity to find amazing kinds of technology that kept us together in a hybrid sense. And as you can see, there's a theme from what the Rabbi started with, and what I feel is that we are a congregation and connection is so important. So I need my glasses, that was without my glasses. So beginning with tonight's services, as we celebrate the beauty of our high holiday experiences, I look forward to seeing how we strengthen our connection in our community. These experiences that we're going to share actually began last week with the delivery of our high holiday bags. They continue with many of our holiday services and in-person programs, including our Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur services, building a sukkah for Sukkot, and dancing with the Torah for Simchas Torah. Our Rosh Hashanah luncheon returns tomorrow, but we'll have a different look. I know that the energy of the connection and community will be the same as it has been in the past. So during the next few weeks, I look forward to seeing and being with all of you as we celebrate the holidays and welcome in 5783. Shana Tova.
Speaking of 5783, we turn to page 19 to announce officially the new year, and we rise in body or in spirit. Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, Yehi ratzon shenizkeh levirchotecha bishnat chameshet elafim shmonim v'shalosh. Our God and God of our ancestors, may we know your blessings in the year 5783. Eternal One, bless us and the whole house of Israel with renewed life, happiness and peace, comfort and courage, resilience and strength. May the words of our heart be acceptable to you in the new year that stretches before us. We are forever grateful for the gift of life. We remain standing for the Baruch Hu, which can be found on the next page. Page 23. The quickening of the moon calls us to return, and we gather, seam dwellers on the edge of the earth. As the sun lowers itself to the sea, introspection arises. A sliver cracks the heart of the firmament, the vast blackness, an invitation to write ourselves anew. Baruch atah Adonai hama'ariv aravim. Blessed are you, Adonai, creator of twilight and dusk. Page 25, the second reading, we read together. Blessed are you, eternal our God, sovereign of the universe, who has sanctified us by commandments and commanded us regarding the reading of the Shema to declare God's reign with a whole heart, to declare God one with a good and willing heart, and to worship God with a good and willing spirit. We turn to page 26 and 27, and we sing together the words of the Shema. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Please be seated.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha v'hayu ha'devarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavcha hayom al levavecha Veshinantam levanecha, vedibata bam, beshivtecha bevetecha, uvlechtecha vaderech, uvshochbecha uvkumecha, ukshartam leot al yadecha, vehayu letotafot beinenecha, Uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha leman tizkeru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai vitem kadoshim lelohechem ani Adonai Elohechem Asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lihiyot lachem le'elohim ani Adonai Elohechem.
Page 33. I'm listening to the rain, and I'm thinking that it's the Michamocha, and I'm trying to make a connection of what it must have felt like for the Israelites to walk through the Red Sea, and I'd never thought about what the sound of the water must have sounded like. And I wonder if it sounded just like that. You have stayed long enough in this place, God said. Time to go forward. Turn your face to the future. Believe that you can cross the sea and survive. Inside you is a Moses. Within you, Miriam dances, unafraid. Lift up your voice and sing a new song. Let's sing a new song on page 34. I got to give the page. Sorry. Go ahead, Ben. Deb, you know, I forgot to introduce Ben. So we've had incredible musical partners over the years.
Yes.
And this year, our musical director for the High Holy Days is Ben Malkovich. And so Ben is familiar to many of us. He's played at bar and bat mitzvahs here and there, some Friday nights. And so Ben has been a really wonderful partner to us. And we should introduce you. So thank you, Ben, very much. Yes. And many of the faces of our professional choir are also familiar year after year, but we do have some new faces. So thank you for adding so much to our service this evening. And the Hashkivenu, which is our next prayer, is an evening prayer that many of you know asks for God's protection. It asks for protection, peace, for shelter and safety, and through every storm, even tonight's rainstorms. The Hebrew translates that God will keep us and watch over us, asking God to carry us safely through the night. So we turn to page 36 for Hashkivenu.
Hashkivenu, Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu leshalom, leshalom. Hashkivenu, Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu leshalom. Ve'hamidenu shomreinu lechayim uleshalom, uleshalom. Hashkivenu, Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu leshalom, uvros aleinu sukkot shlomecha, Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu, Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom, ushmotzeinu uvaenu lechayim ulshalom me'ata ve'ad olam. Ufros aleinu sukkot shlomecha, aleinu sukkot shlomecha, hashkivenu, hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu leshalom.
Page 42. HaTefillah. This prayer is considered the center of the liturgy. In this section, first, you'll see on page 42, this small, we call it a prayer. It's really a refocusing, a recentering. If our minds are human, which we all are, maybe, we wander a little bit and we refocus ourselves. The first prayer that we'll chant is the Avot V'Imahot. It recognizes that we stand on the shoulders of our forefathers and foremothers, and then God's greatness. If you know these prayers well, pay attention. There are High Holy Day insertions, and you'll get a little tripped up. So please rise in body or in spirit.
Adonai, open up my lips. Torah, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, Vekoneh HaKol, Vezocher Chasdei Avot Ve'imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei V'neihem, Lema'an Shemo Be'ahava. Zokrenu lechaim, mechafetz b'chaim, v'chodveinu b'sefer ha'chaim. V'chodveinu b'sefer ha'chaim, למענך אלוהים חיים. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם וזרע צרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע. מחכה חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים. סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בגבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצליח ישועה. מי כמוך אל הרחמן, זוכר יצוריו לחיים ברחמים, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה.
Please be seated. Page 55. The prayer on page 55 is in Hebrew often called Yaleh, and the word Yaleh comes from the word Olev, which means to lift up. There are a number of Hebrew verbs that ask God for our prayers to be lifted up, to ascend, that God may remember us, and that God may accept and hear our prayers. Zochrenu Adonai Eloheinu bo l'tova. Amen.
Eternal our God, remember us. Amen.
Ufokteinu vo livracha. Amen.
Be mindful of us. Amen.
V'hoshienu vo l'chaim. Amen.
And redeem us for a life of goodness and blessing. Amen.
Page 60. Ritzeh is another prayer for acceptance. This prayer is a yearning for God to hear and accept our worship, our prayer, and it is actually one of a favorite here that we really listen to the yearning and the emotion in this beautiful piece.
תקבל ברצון ותהי לרצון תמיד עבודת ישראל.
Page 65. After a long illness, I was permitted for the first time to step outdoors. And as I crossed the threshold, sunlight greeted me. So long as I live, I shall never forget that moment. And everywhere in the firmament above me, in the great vault between earth and sky, on the pavements, the buildings, the golden glow of sunlight. It touched me too, with friendship, with warmth, with blessing. And I remember how often I had been indifferent to the sunlight, how often preoccupied with petty and sometimes mean concerns, I had disregarded it. And I said to myself, how precious is the sunlight, but alas, how careless of it we are. Together, source of blessings, may we open our eyes to the radiance around us. May we open our hearts with gratitude and our souls with appreciation. Page 66.
See
Even as we give thanks for a new year, we know that there are so many whom we love who are struggling, whether it be a struggling of physical illness, emotional struggle, mental illness, or simply tough, difficult times. So we turn to our healing prayer to Misha Berach, and we think in our hearts, and we think out loud, and we think in the chat of all of those whom we love who are in need of healing. And so as my hand passes over the congregation, I invite you to share aloud the names of loved ones who are struggling on this new year so that we can lift them up together and bring them some strength. And if you are at home, I hope that you will share in the chat as well.
My mother,
Joe,
Haley,
Jane, and Fred.
Allison, Andrew, Eddie, Scarlett, Frank, David, Jasper.
We join all of the names shared aloud along with the names that still remain in our hearts, and we sing together. We take a few moments now for silent prayer and reflection.
Adonai tzuri ve'goali. Oh, may the words of my mouth, the meditations of my heart be acceptable before you, O God, my rock and my Redeemer. Ose shalom bimromav, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Ve'imeru, Ve'imeru. Amen.
I'm always happy when I can start a sermon with one of my favorite rabbis in the Mishnah, because his name is so much fun to say, Rabbi Ben Bagbag. He's really real. It's just fabulous. Rabbi Ben Bagbag taught us in Pirkei Avot, also known as the Ethics of the Fathers, Ethics of our Ancestors, that we should constantly turn the Torah around because all the wisdom we need is in it. This is why we read the same 5 books of Torah every year, because we can always find something new in it. Every 365 days, when we read that same Torah portion again, we are different because we're a year older with a year more experience. As I come to this Rosh Hashanah Eve, I wanted to have been able to turn around Jewish teaching and find a message for you. But I am having a hard time. I have been feeling like I am stuck in some Jewish version of the movie Groundhog Day. I feel like I have been reliving the last few high holy days. Let me give you a few examples. In 2018, I wrote this: hate groups and extremist individuals formerly crouched in the dark corners of America now feel comfortable moving toward center stage. In the most simplistic terms, they are nostalgic for their fantasy narrative. The good old days, when our country was allegedly white, Christian, and Anglo-Saxon. Feeling perhaps unnerved and disempowered, this white and largely male population is now openly competing for the minds and hearts of Americans. Openly xenophobic, they preach a myth of a different America, an American narrative that they are desperately trying to recapture, and an America that perhaps never existed. The ascendancy of these groups has opened the path for an increased racist, homophobic, and anti-Semitic behavior. That was from 2018. In 2019, I wrote this: friends and guests, tonight I'm going to speak to you this evening about our country and the brokenness I feel for my home, our country. There are deepening cracks in our democratic norms and institutions. Our challenge is to re-engage individually and communally to strengthen our democracy. We can't wait for someone else to fix this. This is our work and our challenge. Again, 2019. And in 2020, I shared this: my friends, I think we know, were our country to be evaluated for its honesty, for its truthfulness, it would be found sorely lacking. We've come to accept with great regularity the manipulation of fact and truth. I'll stop with my examples. It is exhausting to read these sermons. I read these sermons that are 2, 3, 4 years old, and I am more than dismayed. How is it that these sermons are still so timely? How is it that I can stand here and easily deliver barely edited versions of these same sermons again? A sermon is, by definition, to offer advice or instruction. This is my job. Indeed, this is my calling, to offer some counsel, to offer new kernels of wisdom and strength from the beauty of Judaism. And like Rabbi Ben Bagbag, I am turning it over and over again, but I am coming up empty-handed. What I'm searching for, what I'm gleaning for, is hope. After all, Judaism is a faith based in hope. Rabbi Jonathan Sacks of blessed memory even went so far as to teach, to be a Jew is to be an agent of hope in a world serially threatened by despair. How can I restore my role, our role, as an agent or agents of hope? Perhaps I'm experiencing a part of what Cory Booker taught when he wrote, "Hope confronts. It does not ignore pain, agony, or injustice. It is not saccharine optimism that refuses to see, face, or grapple with the wretchedness of reality. You can't have hope without despair, because hope is a response. Hope is the active conviction that despair will never have the last word." I need to know that the brokenness of our state, of our country, and our world can be repaired. As Brené Brown said, we need hope like we need air. I know that to have the strength for the arduous, protracted, and emotional work that is needed for the repair, for the tikkun that is necessary, we need to find hope. A long time ago, there was a rabbi. There's always a rabbi in a village somewhere. And if it's a long time ago, that rabbi is always a he. One day, he found that he had nothing to say when it came time to give his sermons. So he came onto the pulpit and he asked the congregation, "Do you know the subject that I am going to discuss today?" And the people said no. "Then I refuse to preach to such an uninformed congregation. How could you not know, given the events of this past week?" And the rabbi left in a huff. The next Friday, he went up to the pulpit and did the same thing. "Do you know the subject of my sermon today?" The people were afraid of what had happened the week before, and so they nodded quickly and said, "Yes, we know." "Well then," the rabbi said, "there is no point in telling you what you already know." And he walked quickly out of the synagogue. On the third Friday, he walked to the pulpit and asked, "Do you know what I'm going to speak about today?" At this point, the congregation had no idea what to say. Some said yes, some said no. "Aha," said the rabbi, "then those of you who know can tell those of you who don't know, and there's no need for me here." And he threw his talit across his shoulder and he walked out of the building. A little bit shady, that rabbi. This rabbi, in this Rosh Hashanah, I'm a little bit like that rabbi from the story. I'm feeling adviceless, without new ideas to bring. Maybe tonight, instead of walking off this bima, I stand here and tell you, I am not your best teacher. One story goes that there was a community and the rabbi came and found that community And what they said was that they together would walk out of the forest, discovering the path. Friends, our best teachers don't always stand up here on the pulpit. They can be the people sitting next to us. And so tonight, to find hope, I look to you as my teachers. Tonight, together, we will find hope. And we will start right now. How will we do that? Believe it or not, I'd like to ask you, what gives you hope? And I'd like to ask you to take out your phone. And if you're interested to go to I'm serious, Kelly's like, what? Go to www.menti.com. And we are going to start a word cloud here, finding what gives you hope. Menti.com, 62076. We're going to start it right now, in a minute. We're working on it. Okay. In a moment. And we will all crowdsource what gives you hope. Menti.com. MENTI.com. And the code is 6207-6995.
A little tech glitch, so people can do it, but
you can do it, but you're not going to see the cloud for a little bit because our TV is testy. Menti.com, 6207-6995. The code is not working. Okay. Oh, the code changed. 6233-1087. Can you just start singing, Deb? 6233-1087. What happened? Thank you for your patience. It doesn't matter how much you practice, there's always a glitch. I'm always good for a song. 6233-1087.
Here I am, God, here I am. I got your invitation to return. I traveled quite a distance just to hear you, to be near you, and to learn. Here I am, God, here I am, naked in the mirror of my days. Even though I'm broken, will you take me? Don't forsake me, I can change. Elyon, Elyon. asher eyeh, shetavo tefilati lifnei kisei kevodecha. Here I am, God, here I am. Thank you for the patience you have shown. I know that along the way I've fumbled and I've stumbled, but I have grown. El Elyon Eyeh Asher Eyeh Shetavo Tefilati Lifnei Kisei Kevodecha.
Thank you.
It's beautiful.
We turn to page 74 for Avinu Malkeinu. On this night of return, let us find the humility to come close to you and open ourselves to your presence. For you are absent only when we fail to make room for you in our hearts, distant only when we turn away from you. Now, as others have done before us, let us overcome doubt and speak these words of affirmation. We call you Avinu. As loving parent, forgive our wrongs and failings. Accept us in our human frailty. We call you Malkeinu. As sovereign of our souls, help us rise from our brokenness to build a world of shalom. To this vision, we offer ourselves anew. Please rise in body or in spirit.
Avinu Malkeinu, Shema Koleinu. Avinu Malkeinu, Chatanu lefanecha. Avinu Malkeinu, Chamol Aleinu. Ve'alol Aleinu, V'tapeinu. Shana Tova.
page 81. Rabbi Israel Salanter once spent the night at a shoemaker's home. Late at night, he saw the man working by the light of a flickering candle. "Look how late it is," the rabbi said. "Your candle is about to go out. Why are you still working?" The shoemaker replied, "As long as the candle is burning, it is still possible to mend." For weeks afterward, Rabbi Salanter was heard repeating the shoemaker's words to himself. As long as the candle is burning, it is still possible to mend. As long as the candle burns, as long as the spark of life still shines, we can mend and heal, seek forgiveness and reconciliation, begin again. Page 83, Aleinu. Most of us think of Aleinu as that signal that the service is almost over. Aleinu is also, the service is almost over, but it is also a really important and beautiful prayer. It is a prayer that asks us to go up and be in partnership with God to continue repairing the world. And we know how important that work is. And so we once again rise in body or in spirit for Aleinu. Let us now praise the sovereign of the universe and proclaim the greatness of the Creator, who spread out the heavens and established the earth, whose glory is revealed in the heavens above, and whose greatness is manifest throughout the world. You are our God, there is none else. Therefore we bow in thanksgiving before the one who is sovereign over all, the Holy and Blessed One. We remain standing for our memorial, page 89. The light of life is a finite flame. Like our sacred candles, life is kindled, it burns, it glows. It is radiant with warmth and beauty, but soon it fades, its substance is consumed, and it is no more. In light we see, in light we are seen. The flames dance and our lives are full. But as night follows day, the candle of our life burns down and gutters. There is an end to the flames. We see no more and are no more seen. Yet we do not despair, for we are more than a memory slowly fading into the darkness. With our lives we give life. Something of us can never die. We move in the eternal cycle of darkness and death, of light and life. Page 90, the Mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbi v'alma divra hirute v'amlik malchute b'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chaye techol beit Yisrael ba'agala uv'izman kari v'imru amen. Yehi shmei Rabbi mevorach leolam almei almaya Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei t'kudashah barichu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbachata v'nechamata da'amiran v'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and give comfort to all who are bereaved. And let us say together, amen. Please be seated. Just before our closing song, a few logistics. Our closing song will be found on page 99, if that is correct. Because of the rain tomorrow, if you were planning to bring children or grandchildren to Eddie's Fruit Farm, you're going to bring your children or grandchildren here instead. I don't think Eddie's Fruit Farm will be the most pleasant experience. And I think that was the one thing. Is that correct? That we were...
I think that's the big
right
one.
on cue. Yes. It is really special to be back in the Bima for the High Holy Day, back on the Bima and back with you for the High Holy Days. And we are it is really important that we're here together. Our closing song is Lishana Tova. You can find it in the beautiful script in the middle of page 99.
Lishana Tova Tikatevu, Lishana Tova Tikatevu, Tikatevu, Vetekatemu, Lishana Tova Tikatevu, Lishana Tova Tikatevu.
We rise for our benediction. And as we rise for our benediction, I have just been told that many of our lights in the parking lot are now not working. So please, as you, which ones?
Parking lot lights are fine. It's the road lights headed out are off.
Okay, so some of our road lights are not working. Thank you, Brett. So please, as you leave, be very careful. Thank you. May God bless you and keep you.
Yaher Adonai panav elecha v'chunecha.
May the lights I didn't expect you to sing. It's throwing me. Oh, I'm getting emotional. Okay. May God's presence shine among you, and may God bring you. I'm totally thrown off.
May God be gracious.
May God be gracious to you.
Are you going to sing or should I sing it?
You should sing.
Okay. Yes, Adonai panav elecha ve'yasem lecha shalom ve'yasem lecha shalom.
May God lift up each one of us, and may God bring us shalom, peace and wholeness, and health in this new year. Shana Tova.
Shana Tova.